so you can. I'll send you the link in a second.
So you can put me in the comments there. How can you do that?
No, I'm telling you, I'm streaming right now.
Oh, you're gonna do the
I'm making, yeah, I'm making a video for you.
Oh my dude.
All right, so check it out. Let's start with the Ravens first. So if you look over here on the right, you see the Baltimore Ravens have got 26 out of 50. Now, the key is you want to have the best Ravens possible, but you also want to fill in the spots with some of the weaker players. So first of all, John Ogden, my left tackle. Nico Siragusa, he's okay. I mean, he gets the job done. My best center that I have that's not going to cost me too much, and then Marshall Yanda. Now I can keep boosting Yanda up, but he's at a point where he's usable for salary cap, so I just keep him where he is. And then you got the choice between Alex Lewis or Orlando Brown. Now what I did was I noticed that Brown, when you compare him to Lewis, is I wouldn't say the same, but he's actually much better in every category except for awareness. So he's got a 73 awareness to a 60, but that's every other category he's better. Now the other part is, if I did put Lewis in, he's also a 75 overall, because he's going to get that strength boost, the pass block boost, and the run block boost. So, but every other category, you see that Brown's better, so I went with Brown instead. All three Raven tight ends. Now here's the key to this, is that because you've got the Ravens at the 25, Hayden Hurst gets a major boost. He gets a speed boost, a strength boost, catching traffic, short route running, and a run block boost. So that boosts him, and all these guys are usable for, especially for what we do in salary cap. So now you got an 80 speed Mark Andrews at your tight end spot. Now he's not the best run blocker, but you see he gets a pretty solid boost across the board when you compare him to Hayden Hurst. So he actually goes one up overall. So he started as a 73, and now he's a 74. So you add the third tight end, which is Boyle. He also gets a boost. And now you can also see that he gets, as you can see, all the boosts on the left. But if you look on the bottom, he's got a run block of 73. So if you ever want to run an I formation and you need a better run blocking tight end, just sub him out and put in Boyle. Or the 3 tight end set's now available to you too. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ravens. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 7 Ravens on the offensive line and tight ends. Then of course you got to have your Randy. You still got to have your stud receiver. So you want to find your best receiver. I put in Randy. But
I got to have one good receiver.
Yeah, you got to have
one.
Yeah, you got to have a stud. So I kept Randy in there. But I got Steve Smith. Now, I boosted Steve Smith to the point where he didn't hurt the cap, but he was still usable. But again, because he's part of the Ravens, he gets a nice boost in speed, jump, catching traffic, and short route running.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Oh, but he's slow.
But that's okay, though. I mean, even though he's slow, you're still getting this pretty solid boost out of a guy that's going to be your slot guy. But here's the best part about it.
Oh, that's
Right. Here's the best part about it, though. You go get John Brown, not the boo-boo John Brown. You got to get the team of the week John Brown. I'll keep talking. Don't worry about it. So then you get John Brown, the team of the week card. He's a 90 speed with the Ravens boost, an 88 jump. So he gets a 1 overall boost, and now he's pretty solid. And you're still getting a Raven boost for everybody else. And then the fourth receiver is the boo-boo one, Chris Moore, and even Chris Moore has some usability in your 4 wide sets if necessary. He's an 83 speed, but I mean, again, it's a fourth receiver and he's cheap. Doesn't hurt your cap too much. Now the key of these 2 backs is Ricky Williams. Ricky gets a nice handsome boost to an 87 speed, acceleration, agility, carry, catch, truck, break tackle, all of it. He goes from an 88 to an 89 overall. And he just put in Buck Allen as the flex player because he's cheap and he still gives you that Raven boost you need. Now, what really makes this work is your quarterback, because Drew Brees gives me a +4. Actually, I'll show you better this way.
That was smart to put Steve Smith in there.
Right. But then you add. Oops, I didn't mean that. Right, he's usable. Because he's giving you that boost. And even at an 80,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
even at an 80 overall and an 84 speed, he's got good route running.
Right. And he's like kind of like the 84 speed Antonio Brown.
Right. Now, what makes this really work is Drew Brees, because now you get 2 chemistry slots for Drew Brees, and you can use both of them for balanced offense or whatever you want to run.
You got Drew Brees.
Right. So I got Drew Brees. Gives me.
That dude?
I had to earn him, bro. I put the work in for that one. I'll show you that later. But then you got the Lorenzo Neal power-up card that I went to go get. Now, when I compared him to the guy I had in there before,
77 Joe.
no, not him. I went to the other dude, DeMarco. DeMarco was a 73 overall fullback. He was 13 points against the cap. Now I go get Lorenzo Neal. I gain another point against the cap, but get a better fullback, and I get to add him to the Ravens. So he gets a boost basically all the way down the board. 70 speed, more strength. He's got better carry, got better catch, better run blocking. Even with the Ravens boost, it still gives him a lead block of 74, but that's comparable. But his impact block is, what's that? 15 points? 15 points better than Lorenzo Neal, and he cost me 1 less point against the cap, and I can mark him as a Raven. So that's the offense. And then on the offensive side,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then on the offensive side, so you got to get that leads you to the Baltimore Ravens active tier chemistry. So I get a +1 strength for all my linemen. Well, you get it for everybody, but it's important for your linemen. You get a +1 jump for your wide receivers. You get a +1 agility, a +1 acceleration, and a +1 speed. And that's for all Ravens. But on the balanced offense side, because you get the 20, which is what makes Drew Brees important, because without Drew Brees and without Ogden having a double, you don't get to the 20. So now if you do the balanced offense, or you could do whatever scheme you want, but in this case I did balanced offense because it's free for the most part. So you get the catch, carry, impact block, juke moves, short accuracy, play action, spin move, lead block, short route running, run block, truck, and break tackle.
Everybody gets one more.
Everybody in my offense gets a +1 across the board because
and
of
play, play action,
yeah,
short accuracy.
Yep, and it gives a boost to everybody on there, because now Breeze gets that boost, and Ogden and Breeze combined count for 6.
Now how do you get your Breeze?
I'll show. I'm still making a video. I'll show you in a minute. And then you come to the defensive side. So now you got the defense. Now, I sacrifice on my free safety because I know I'm going to be using him the most. So I needed somebody that's got some pretty usable speed. 84 is not great, but it'll work. So Demarius Randall. But then Suggs is pretty versatile. So I powered him up to 87. And of course you got to have your Ray as max as possible, because he alone will shut down a run for you. And then my Ryan Shazier. Now you don't have Shazier to this point, but what I did was I went out and got C.J. Mosley. Now C.J. Mosley is only a 78 speed, but you're only going to use him on that inside linebacker spot, which is also still going to give you that Raven boost you need, which means he'll actually be a 79 speed, and everything else gets boosted too. So you'll just use C.J. Mosley as your middle linebacker, right? As that inside linebacker in your 3-4. Then you got to have a Tyus Bowser. Tyus Bowser counts. So now you could probably interchange these guys here. This is probably where you're gonna have the most flexibility, is between using Shazier or Mosley and then having a better left outside linebacker. So Bowser's only in for my pass rush, and he's only in on my 3-4 set. Other than that, I go with Shazier and Lewis. Right. And then you got, here's one of my favorite parts of this thing. Then you got Ed Reed. Ed Reed, I got him boosted to an 89. But again, because he's a Raven, you get the 26 boost. He gets a +1 speed, which makes him a 90 speed now. An 89 acceleration, the play rate goes up, the man coverage and the zone coverage now goes on 91. And he's 43 against the cap. So now you got Ray and Reed the run stopping and defense, and then you got Reed on the other side. So for cover 3, I can play Demarius Randall on the hook curls since he's slow, and I can kind of cover the middle, and I can let Reed and Sanders, who also gets the Raven boost, is now
Sanders get one too.
right.
Golly,
Sanders gets the Raven boost, and he's a 91 speed now. So he's a 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 91 agility. Look at that across the board.
Now why'd you move Champ? Oh, you like Champ Bailey? Why does everybody like Champ Bailey?
Well, I had Champ at the beginning when 87 speed was like legit. Like 87 speed, you were a bad man then.
I hate Champ Bailey.
But once they boosted everything up to 850, Champ Bailey's now useless because that 87 speed is booty.
What better? That's Slay?
Right here?
Number 87.
Yeah, that's him.
I mean, 87 overall.
That's him.
That's my nigga right there.
But Slay's at 80. But here's the thing, Slay's cool, but guess what? He ain't this dude.
Oh no! Oh hell no!
He's not Marlon Humphrey.
Oh, let me go see Marlon Humphrey.
So now Marlon Humphrey is a 90 speed now because of the speed boost and everything else that gets associated with the defense, with the lockdown defense.
He's faster. Oh my gosh! Acceleration, agility, jump. Jumping is bad.
So now you got
that's boss mode though.
Right. So now you got the lockdown defense for Humphrey. Now here's where it gets tricky though, because now you still got to find a way to get 25 Ravens on here. You already got your starters. You got Lewis, you got Reed.
You put a bum in there at the end position.
Yeah, but it's got to be a Raven because again, you still need to get to 25. The best part about this is that you got a left end and a right and a defensive tackle who actually are pretty good. Pearson Williams is solid, especially in a 3-4. Right, the whole defensive line has to be Raven. Otherwise, it's just you're going to be putting bums in spots that really don't need to be. But the best part about it is that these two, Pearson and Williams, are usable, especially if you run in a 3-4. And even if you run 4-3, because then they're interchangeable. Because now, what happens here with Suggs? Oh, then Jair Alexander is actually my nickel back. He becomes my 3, but he's my 2 when I go 3-4, and Humphrey comes to the bench. So I'll show you right here.
I know you put him in your slot.
Right. So my specialist now, third down back Ricky Williams, power back Ricky Williams. I mean, he just serves both roles. And then instead of putting Steve Smith on the outside, I put Steve on the inside because now I got the speed and John Brown on the outside. Now sometimes in certain plays I'll sub him out. I'll sub.
I do on my team on my Lions. I put the dude Cromartie as my slot.
Right.
Because Cromartie's a better corner.
Right.
I want the speed on the outside.
Exactly.
So
and that's why I do with Humphrey over here. So I'll put Humphrey on the outside because I need that speed, but he's a better corner. Now I can't get rid of him. He's still pretty solid. I mean, I can still put in Slay.
That's my dude, yo.
Right. I mean, I don't know what it is about him. He plays way over par.
I'm mad I got rid of the other dude though. I'm glad I kept Jair though.
Right. Told you keep his butt. And then you got Deion Sanders for both kick return and punt return. And also don't forget, he still gets that boost though. That 91 speed, acceleration, agility.
You can put him at receiver.
With a 90, you can't put him in receiver here, but you can do it in the game when you sub him.
Right.
So then you got the specialist.
+1 catch too.
Right. Exactly. Now I'm gonna give you the schemes in just a minute because these are just the players first. So now you got to take out Suggs and put him as the rush right end, and you put in Tyus Bowsley as your rush left end because that's going to take out Brandon Williams, but you leave Pierce as the rush defensive tackle.
Yeah, I love these extra spots because, like you said, now you can put the dudes as fast. Like, I mean, originally I wouldn't want to have a Brandon Williams on the line, but with my 3-4, I definitely want to have him on the line.
Oh my gosh!
My tackle.
In a 3-4, they can't get to the outside for something. His block shed is stupid. If you run to his side, he block sheds and just cuts it right off. It's crazy. Like almost every play he cuts it off.
Yeah, you got these niggas looking nasty.
All right, no wait. So this is just that part. Oh wait, hold up. I got to show you the Ravens purple though. You got to get that Raven purple.
It doesn't mess with your scheme, you said.
No, see, this is the next part I'm about to show you now. So now you see on the right, you got the Baltimore Ravens. They got 26 of them now, which means everybody's getting a boost. And then the balance O, which allowed me to do, again, you got to have Ogden because he gives you a double. And then you also get a quadruple out of Breeze for having 4 spots open, which allows you to get to 4.
That's what I was saying. How do I get down? How do I go about getting the 4 spots? Now, is there any other quarterback that has that?
Yeah, some of them do. You just got. I know the ultimate kickoff guys do, like Drew Brees. There's another. I think there's another one. It might have been McNabb. I can't remember. I'll show you that in a minute once we're done.
I have McNabb, but I don't know.
Nah, he doesn't have the double. But some of the special ones like this guy, he gets the quadruple, which is crucial because without it, you can't get 20 on the balanced offense. Right. Because without it, you're going to lose a good portion of this. I don't know which ones you lose, but you lose a good portion of them. Now here's the kicker. This is the part I didn't understand. This right here is an additional Ravens balance O that gives me another additional catch, a juke move, a catch in traffic, a plus run, a pack, the whole package. Okay. Now that's going to be found here in team strategy. This is what I figured out the other day. Now you got to have the gold for these guys. So you got to have the gold John Harbaugh. You got to have the gold light uniform for the Ravens. You got to have the gold Ravens dark uniform, and you also got to have the Ravens gold home stadium. Now when you upgrade them,
how do you get gold home stadium?
You got to go find them in the auction. You got to go buy them, or you can go do.
Now why do you gotta get gold?
Because the base ones you can't upgrade the base ones. You probably currently have the base ones and you can't upgrade base.
Nice. This is stuff I gotta learn right here.
So this right here is how you get the additional chemistry boost. So each slot is a new opening, and each slot they're pretty expensive to do it because it's crucial.
Brings so much to your team.
Right. So especially if you got 26 Ravens. If you got 26 Ravens, so now I got a balance O, which gives them. There it is. So tier 1 boosts all these guys up. So everybody gets an additional catch, etc. Now here's the key that you can keep going all the way down this thing, which is what makes John Madden important, by the way, which is why I'm trying to get Madden. So once you get Madden, you can fill this thing up for the entire team and not just for the Ravens.
And it doesn't matter who you put in.
Right, then it won't matter. Well, you still want to put your Ravens because you get the speed boost, but once you get Madden, you can boost all these slots up. But the key is, it costs you training to boost these slots. No, I don't want to do that. Not yet. So, it only works. You still there?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm looking at it.
Alright, so it only works. So if you boost just the head coach, it's not going to work. So if you come over here on the right, it's 4, 8, 12, 16, etc. Yeah. So that's going to be 1 for the head coach, 1 for the light uniform, 1 for the dark uniform, and 1 for the home. Those are your first 4. So with me having 8 Ravens balance O, that means I've got 2 on my head coach. Oh shoot, I didn't mean that. Wrong button. I've got 2 on my head coach. So this scheme slot's open and that scheme slot's open, and I added both the balance O on it. So that's 2 for him. All right, and then I did it again on a light uniform. Same thing, 2 slots open, both of them balanced O. So now that's 4.
Hey, so uniforms really do mean something.
Right. So that's what.
I got rid of my 3,000, man. They give me 3,000 coins for it. I'm like, I don't give it up on
the uniform. Like, it depends on the uniform. That's why I say go out and get the Ravens uniforms.
Yes, I need Ravens.
So you exactly. Now, if you want the Raven uniform, once you have them, you add them. But so that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So you got to even go get the home stadium because again, you can still boost those slots.
Dang, all that stuff means something.
So now.
Then what about the playbook?
Playbook
does that count?
No, playbook don't matter. Playbook doesn't count. So that's what this Ravens balance O active tier number 2 is. So by boosting these guys up, it boosts the entire Ravens balance O now. So now I got the balance O. Wait, so now I have the Baltimore Ravens with 25 players, gives me the boost for the strength, the jump, agility, acceleration, and speed. Then I got a balance O, which means everybody that has the balance O trait gets another catch, carry, impact, block. So that's +1 for all that. Then you add it again. You add it again with the chemistry. Everybody gets another catch, juke move, etc. So it boosts the entire team up to make them better. Now the key on the defensive side, though, is that I haven't found a way to get 20 players all locked in with the same attributes. The most I could. Oh, I forgot. Dang, I'm glad I saw that. I missed that one. Do that before I forget. How the heck did I miss that?
I gotta figure this out. Oh, dang, he definitely ain't have it on Pierce.
Yeah, I just boosted on Pierce. I don't know how I missed that. So now he's in there.
Give you extra little boost right there.
Well, yeah, it gives him an actual little boost in the pass rush department. So, like I was saying, I haven't found a way to get all the defensive players to 20 yet, because Ray counts for 2, and I haven't found a way to get doubles on these guys yet, which players have the doubles. So, I just split it up. So I did all my guys that are going to be rushing a passer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I actually put on him too, 6. So that way I can split it up. So now I've got 6 guys that get the pass rush boost, which gives them a pursuit, and I think that's play recognition. And then on the lockdown side, I at least need 10, because now everybody gets a catch, play rec, a man coverage, and a zone coverage boost too. But I gave it to Ray to get the lockdown, because I don't blitz Ray that often. He plays more coverage than anything, but every now and then I'll blitz him. But the guys that are going to be rushing the passer need the pass rush boost. So I had a choice between putting him on lockdown or him on pass rush, because I only had 16 spots. So I went with him to give him the pass rush, knowing he'll be better on pass rush, but he needed more help in zone coverage because he's booty. But that's how the scheme fits work. So now you gotta, if I can figure out how to get 20 there, be legit. But the biggest thing that makes this whole thing work, it's expensive as hell, is this section right here.
But what about like the dude you have, the Ryan Shazier and 3-6, just not you can get 2 spots from there, can't you?
No, they're still giving me a lockdown boost. So he's part of the lockdown, and he's part of the lockdown. So they add me to the lockdown boost, the lockdown chemistry. But everybody else is pretty much a Raven for the most part. Oh, my bad, I missed one. So then you got to fill in your 4th cornerback with Kennedy. He's getting a boost, and then the strong safety is Anthony Levine. That's how you got to fill in those extra spots with the players that are Ravens, and you got to find the cheap ones. But they still got to be gold, because you have to add the piece in there.
Gotcha. You can't put no trash dudes there.
I forgot to add him too. Either way, I'm still going to be short 20, I know that much. I mean, he doesn't even get in the game, but still got to add it anyway. Everybody should be good now.
Because you want to have some boss players, but you also want to have some good balance.
Right, you got to have the boss. You got to have your Ray. You got to have the Suggs. And the other option is I could take him out and put in Bosa. But you got to remember, I'm right at that right on the mark at 850. So right on the mark at 850, and everybody's getting a pretty solid, good boost. And this is the 3 tight ends here. Since the Ravens actually have 3 solid tight ends that you can use, you have to put them in there in the right way. Like,
yeah, 'cause Boyle's a good blocker.
Right.
Good blocker.
Like, so when I go big set, Boyle, if I go big I or 3 tight ends, like Boyle's a really good blocker, believe it or not. And actually has pretty decent hands. So if you need a little 5-yard catch, he can give you the 5-yard catch.
A little hook route.
Or a little flat. He'll catch the flat and move forward 2 or 3 yards. So he's got some value, and you see he's getting a boost.
Look at these dudes hooked up.
Yo, is that straight or what?
Yo got the hook up on a salary cap joint.
Yo, it is smack right on 850. The Ravens are boosted. All I needed to do is keep boosting this section here with the balance O. So what I'm thinking about doing next, since I gave him the balance O, if I went to the 3rd tier, that's going to give me a catch, a juke move, a catch in traffic, a plus run, and a play action. So the catch is going to help all 3 of my tight ends. It'll also help John Brown and Steve Smith, as well as it also help Ricky Williams. So catching traffic will get boosted, and a +1 run and a +1 play action. The PAC is not going to help anybody except for Breeze. Right. So I'm thinking, instead of doing that, I'm thinking about doing my next one being for the team strategy. is upgrading the defensive tip.
Okay, it's gonna be now it's gonna be a while for me to get my Ravens, my salary cap.
Because these
I got rid of a lot of the dudes.
These are expensive. Like, that's not cheap to do this. So if I did Ravens passing, it'll help with pass block, power, medium route running, beat press, medium accuracy, and break sack. So I don't do that one because it's not going to really help me for the quarterback, because Breeze is my quarterback. So I just went with balance O. Then the other option is it's Ravens rushing, which would help Ricky Williams and also at the other guys. But I'm thinking about going here with my next two, because that'll give me a power move, a man coverage, and a zone coverage. That's going to boost Ray, Suggs, Tyus. That's going to actually, this will boost my entire defensive line, but more importantly, it'll boost up the Deion Sanders, Ed Reed, in that group.
One PMV, one man coverage, one zone coverage.
But don't forget, that's tier 2. We're still working on tier 1 for that group, so it's going to be catch, finesse, move, and what is PRS? I forget.
You said which one?
PRS.
Press.
Is it press? Nice. So plus.
Press.
There you go. So then pass. There you go. Catch, finesse, move, and press, and then power move, man coverage. So basically, by doing this, now I have a +2 man coverage and a +2 zone coverage on Deion Sanders, Marlon Humphrey, Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Suggs, and that's it. So I think that this will probably be my next move right here. Is a cube.
I gotta get my boys up.
But here's the thing: is like I don't want to boost John up too much further. I mean, because you can see this stuff 250 training, and then as you keep going down to the bottom, it's the last slot 10's like 2,500 each.
And then after you get the train, then you gotta go buy the boost.
And then you gotta go buy the boost. Right.
Like 250, you gotta give everybody 50.
So
like, yo, hold up.
Right. So it's 250. Basically, it's 300 each. Because don't forget, if I wanted to boost, if I wanted to change it, remember you see it right here for the pass D is 50. So it's 300 a hit right now. So it's 300 a hit for me to do it. Then it goes up to 550 a hit, and you got to do it 4 times. So that's 1,200 in training right now just to boost this last slot for all 4 of them. So if I get 1,200 in training, it might be worth it.
That's tough. Yeah, I gotta get my boys right.
But you see how I did it though? Like that's how you.
You gotta have your ballers, but you also gotta make sure you just gotta be smart with the other thing had a time to mess with that thing. That's all. You just gotta have like the little people like Lorenzo Neal. You gotta remember some of those guys that you got. Like, oh yeah, I forgot that he played for Ravens.
Right.
You got some guys like him, and I mean even Deion.
Right. Deion's the kicker. When I it was Deion that put this whole thing in motion when I thought about it.
It's like, yo, Deion and Steve Smith. Like, I got Steve Smith built up a little bit, like just enough. But like you said, get him like 80. I might be able to do a little bit more because my Ray isn't as expensive as yours.
Right. So I mean, that's the other part. But I mean, you can manipulate and see where you got more expenses and where you don't. Like he's expensive at 37.
Might not be as high.
Your Ricky may not be as high, but again, I got 26 in, so you could do this and just take out Ricky and put your best running back in.
Right.
You could do it the same way I have it, but just change it up with Ricky.
Raven spot though.
What's that?
I don't want to use my Raven spot.
Right. So again, you just got to make sure you get 26. And the best way to do it is, unfortunately, are these bums right here, because you can fill the whole defensive line. The whole defensive line is Raven.
Yeah, I had the bumps.
And if you want, there's another one. Willie Henry can come in instead of Brandon Williams too. So Willie Henry's a 78. He's pretty solid, but Brandon Williams is dirty against the run.
Smart. Like, I mean, I see how you did it. I'm like, okay, I got to put some work in. My main things are. Oh my gosh, bro! What are you calling me for, Titus? Hold on. God.
Alright, so now that I did that, let's see if I can go find 1200 training somewhere.
What? Alright, what am I doing? Yeah, so I want to play more salary cap. Like I said, I don't mind going the other way.
You know what I just thought? I probably messed up, bro.
I just like the salary cap because it takes more skill, in my opinion.
In my opinion, I think so too. I think salary cap requires you to look at your team instead of just saying, all right, I'm going to put the best team I can out there.
Right.
I'm going to put...
spend as much money as I can.
Exactly.
The best team I can put together, I'm going to throw it together, and I'm going to go get Tyreek Hill, and I'm going to go spend $100 and go get Tyreek Hill.
Right.
And I'm going to have Deion Sanders, I'm going to have everybody I can and max them out, and then go run one play.
Yo, I love salary cap because now you got to build your team and you got to do it very calculated. You got to be very calculated in how you build this team because you only get 850 points, and you can't put all Ray Lewis's across the board.
And you can't put the monsters in. You can't have your 99 Tyreek Hill out there.
Right. And then you also, here's the other part. It's like I can keep boosting up Deion Sanders, but Deion Sanders is good enough. Same thing with Reed. I mean, I can make Reed a 94, but why? Why make him a 94 when I can keep him just a little bit below his best? Same thing with Yonda. You just got to boost them to the point where they're usable. Same thing with Ogden. I could boost. He's got one more upgrade I could boost him on to. I could boost Ogden up one more, but I don't need to do that because now I can boost them by using chemistries instead.
Yep. And you play more salary cap with it anyway.
Right, and the chemistries don't count anything against your cap. Same thing as another one. I can go over to Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis has an upgrade in his chemistry spot. So I can add a physical upgrade here on him and give him more speed. But that's, I mean, I would need 10 players. I need 25,000 in training to get 10 players that have the same sprinter. The same sprinter.
I just need to get on and mess with the team. Once I'm done just MUT Heroes, I'm gonna get on and do some of the MUT Heroes. Once I'm done with MUT Heroes and finish. Where did you get that MUT Hero?
MUT Heroes is back here. Well, actually, here two ways to do it. First, you can always go to auction. This is how I originally did Humphrey. I found Humphrey doing it this way. Most of these Ravens I filled like this by going to the team, coming down to the Ravens, and then sorting by overall.
Oh, they might not be that expensive for me to put. Oh no, they are. Like Marlon Humphrey's gonna cost a rip.
Marlon Humphrey might be, but I mean, here's another case in point. So here's an Ed Reed. You can go buy a version 4, but I can get the power up for him and just boost him instead. It's like I don't really need to go that high. And look.
Right, that's because everybody's trying to make this monster team.
Right, and my power up is better than, in my opinion, my power up is better than the Ed Reed they have on there. Especially after.
89 speed.
Right, especially after I give him the boost. It's like.
Recognition, same man, same zone.
But wait, and this is
what's so special about him?
Bro, and this is before I even give him the Ravens boost. So he's actually, don't forget, he's a 90 speed, 89 acceleration, 71 tackle, a 90 play recognition. I think he might even be a 90 pursuit. He's got 2+ man on the man coverage, so he's one plus on the man coverage, which makes him an 84. My read is a 90 overall after the boost. So it's like, why would I pay you that for version 4 of that dude when I can go do the power up and get more out of it?
Yeah, I like the power one.
Same thing with here.
I'm about to get that Marlon Humphrey though. So I gotta find out how.
Oh, let me show you that route.
Together so I get all the joints that you was talking about.
So here's Humphrey. Now Humphrey is available after you do the MUT Hero one, but you can go buy Humphrey. Ooh, he's expensive now. Wow.
Hold on. In the MUT Heroes.
Oh, there he is.
Now?
Yeah, you can get Humphrey in the MUT Heroes once you finish it. Right. So.
Oh, I'm almost done. That's right on time then.
Right.
Yo, I'm getting lucky right now, bro. I'm getting lucky. Like,
So, but the thing is, he won't be auctionable or tradable, which is fine because I bought him. I bought Humphrey right there.
That's what I want. I just want him to so I can do my salary.
I bought Humphrey for 22,000 2 days ago, I think it was. And then if you want to go to the solo challenges, and it's this one. I think I got Humphrey in.
Oh, you didn't even finish your solo challenge.
Not yet, but I got Humphrey in one of these. I got Humphrey in one of these here.
I'm almost done, and this nigga got Humphrey before me.
I bought Humphrey, but Humphrey was available in one of these two. I think it was this one. I think I just finished this one yesterday. Well, I didn't finish defense yet. Yeah, but you get a break. Coming. What's up, bud? You coming to play? Okay. Yeah, I think it's one of these two I got him in. But he's not. None of those are going to be auctionable or tradable. And then to go get a. Oh, and then you got this right here. Give you the Steve Smith and the Ed Reed power-ups. Both of these will.
Yeah, I got both of them. Okay, so you
and then I didn't. And the Ogden one. I don't know how I got the Ogden one. I think I bought him. I think I bought both of these actually. I bought Dion and John Ogden.
I think I went and got the power up in Ogden.
I didn't.
See, look, I'm just so lost, bro. It's like because so many people are so ahead of me right now. I'm just like, I don't know how the hell to get these.
Why did I do the 10 round?
I'm like, what's the point of these legends if you gotta like build this legend, get this legend, build this legend, build this? I guess just to get the max power of Ed Reed or whatever and stuff like that. But I'm like, yo, why can't you do all that?
Yeah, I like that better. And then to get the Breeze, that's what you were asking me. All right, to get the Breeze, he's in a set. Dang it! Oh, that's how I got it. All right, so once you finish the first one, they give you the first offensive one. They give you a MUT hero. All right, so this is how I got it. This is how we did it. Alright. So when I did the first one, I got the MUT hero. My MUT hero, I got Aaron Rodgers. Because I'm like, well, I can get Aaron Rodgers and boost him, right? But then I said, you know what? What I really want to do first off, before I go there, I was going to try to get your boy Eric Weddle. Then he could be my free. But I'm like, he's going to be too expensive against the salary cap. Woody woot, woody woot. So I said, I'll just go ahead and do Aaron Rodgers, and that way I can probably either take out, I can either go sell him or sell Breeze, whichever one I want to get rid of. But my first MUT hero was Aaron Rodgers. That was the guy I chose. Then you have the choice to make between all of the MUT heroes that are their sidekicks. So to get Weddle, his sidekick is Marlon Humphrey. So after you finish the first one, you get Aaron Rodgers. Or you get your pick of any of these MUT heroes available to you. Like here you go, for example, all these are the MUT heroes are going to be available. All of them.
Okay.
So once you finish the first one, you'll get an opportunity to pick one of these being your MUT hero. Okay?
Oh, man, I'm so pissed.
So now I got the MUT hero Aaron Rodgers. So now I go to my set, I added them in there. But now I need to go find a sidekick. All of these are his sidekicks. So I got to go find 22 more Corey Lindsey's, and then I'll get the 92 overall version of Aaron Rodgers.
Golly, dang, that's a lot.
Right, but on the same token, if you're that kind of dude to want to go buy him, he's only 22,000. Oh wait, take out Humphrey. If you're 24,000 now, but yeah, he's 24,000 to go buy him. So 24 times 2, yeah. No, Corey Lindsey. Corey Lindsey's 24. Now to get Drew Brees, I had to go do the ultimate kickoff version to it. Watch out, bud. So I completed this set here.
Which one?
This, let me back it up again. The ultimate kickoff series. So this one right here, I did this one. I went down to, where is he? This one. I completed this set. and it's repeatable. So some of these aren't even very expensive either. Look at this. So I can go get some of these ultimate kickoff players for 3,000 each, and just start filling in the spots.
And then what does that do for you?
So once you start filling the spots, so these are any ultimate kickoff goals, any of these guys, you can just keep adding them in. So I already have a couple of them. So let me see who I have I can add in here. I don't want to do it, but perfect.
Yeah, but you already got basically the breeze.
So all these ultimate kickoffs, I mean, you can take a look at. I mean, I like them.
Can I go bomb?
Well, you can go buy them, but he's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, my breeze is what?
So in order to get your breeze, you got to do the ultimate kickoff, and you got to fill in all those spots.
You got to fill in all those spots to get them. I filled in every single one of them. So,
Are you the only one that does that? 'Cause
well, that's why I'm doing Aaron Rodgers now, so I can do Aaron Rodgers too.
oh, yeah, okay, he's slow, but he's got a good 90 drill power, nice accuracy, though.
Right.
Jeez. Look at that Mike Vick. I got rid of my Mike Vick.
Nah, I'm holding my Mike Vick. But the problem, but if you look at Mike's 52 against the cap, bro.
Yeah, it's too much.
That's why I said when I saw how much he was expensive against the cap, and I said, well, I don't really run with Mike Vick like that anyway. I don't need that kind of quarterback. It's just it's a good bonus to have, but not at plus 12 against my cap. Because that means I can't have Ray and Mike Vick on the squad. So I said, all right, which one do I want? Do I want Vick on my squad or do I want Ray? Give me Ray.
Right. I want defense.
All right, so I took Ray, and I said I can go with a minus 12 in my cap to get a solid quarterback, a 90 overall quarterback. Yeah, I'll do that.
Why is he so low? Because he's not fast?
Because he's not fast. That's it. I mean, I'm not running nowhere. I'm staying in the pocket delivering strikes.
Right. Every now
I
and then
mean,
might get low.
let's be real. For the longest time, I ran with him. I ran with Joe. If you can run with Joe, look how much more you can save against your cap. Not to mention, if you put the scheme, the chemistry fits on him, he goes up to an 80 overall quarterback, and it doesn't hurt your cap. He's the same speed. He's got the same throw power as Breeze, but with the additional boost, he's somewhat usable. Or I went this direction. Give me the poor man Michael Vick.
Right.
Now, for a while, this is what I did before I had all the Ravens. Before I had the Ravens I wanted in there, I had both Breeze and Jackson on the field at the same time. Right. So I would sub in Jackson, not really.
There's only one spot for quarterback.
No, there's two spots. He was my flex. I could use my second spot for my quarterback as a flex spot. So when I went 5 wide, I could spread him out, and he can still make the short throws I need him to make. Right. And then I had QB draw available, and they never realized that Breeze was out of the game. And all of a sudden, you don't have nobody's spying Breeze. Breeze ain't going nowhere.
No.
So when you bring in sneak in Lamar Jackson, he takes the snap, and there's no spy. They're like, oh crap! I went for 40 yards with him doing that. So I mean, those are my 4 quarterbacks I have. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I gotta step my game up.
Or what you could do, you can go with both Joe and Lamar, and do the same thing. Because Joe's not expensive against the cap at all.
He got nice throw power.
Yeah, he gets it down there. So what I did with that was when I had Joe, I had Randy, Tyreek Hill, and John Ross.
Power though.
Right, so I took advantage of that because I got Randy, John Ross, Tyreek Hill, and who was it? And bless you. I think I also, it was Julio Jones. I had Julio Jones in there. So since I had a weaker quarterback, I boosted the best receivers I could put out there. Oh, and Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham was my tight end at the time.
I gotta get on my PC. I got a lot of work to do.
So, but these are the key ones. Like, you can still get decent Raven receivers and John Brown with that Team of the Week card. And then also,
Dad,
I bought that one.
I'm on the like I'm trying to earn it. And you earn it.
Well, some of them you can't earn. Some of them you got to just take the coin and buy them.
No, why can't we earn them, but everybody else?
They're not earned. They're just cards that came in a set. They came in. You buy a pack, you got the card. They're like, I don't want John Brown. Like somebody's like, I don't need John Brown. Like they don't have any plans on using them. But for me, John Brown's got more yeah. For me, John Brown is more valuable to me because I can boost him using my Raven Star.
I like this T Smith. That T Smith was slick. That's T Smith build up. I mean, that power up top. Build him just enough.
Yep, build him up just.
I might be able to boost him. Oh shoot! I might be able to boost him a lot higher than. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Get out, Chad.
So
Get out of bounds.
here's the other part. You can go get John Brown right now for $12,850.
Which one?
The one I have, the team of the week one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get him.
I mean, at $12,850 plus the Orlando Brown 4,000, and for the longest I was rocking the old John Brown until the new John Brown came out, and he was trash. He was trash. Like he was tough to use. Like all he was good for was a zig route. That was it. He wasn't going nowhere. But once this dude came out with John Brown, I was like, let's go. So that's how I did it. That's how I boosted my squad.